This week on Eagle Eye News at 6.
Americans are dreamers too.
President Trump's first State of the Union address was Tuesday, and we've got student reactions ahead. And SGA elections are kicking off this week with highly contested positions on the line. We'll have these stories and more ahead on Auburn's News Leader. Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Ellie Falconer.
And I'm Brooks Childress.
After a historic year of only the third female SGA president in Auburn history, elections are just around the corner for who will fill Jacqueline Keck and the rest of SGA's positions. The only contested positions this year are for SGA president and Miss Auburn. Candidates for president are Dane Block, Porter Kennedy, Brianna Thomas, Mike O'Kee, and Patrick Starr. Miss Auburn candidates are Bailey Sullivan, Mary Spencer Veazey, Bria Randall, Zuri Foster, and Catherine Kennedy.
Candidates' platforms focus on issues students care about most, including parking, dining, and athletic tickets. Changes in campaign rules also went into effect this week, something that the SGA is hoping will make students more comfortable with elections. Eagle Eye's Savannah Key has more in the newsroom.
Students should notice a calmer campaign week as SGA ruled to limit campaigning. Campaigns will now only be allowed to have 10 students actively campaigning on the concourse at a time. Students will also only be allowed to campaign between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. On Election Day, campaigners are not allowed to campaign off campus and may not use any form of technology to garner votes for their candidate. Students have taken notice to the calmer atmosphere, but still say election week is one to avoid on the concourse.
I think the concourse is a little hectic and is annoyance to a lot of people, but people have good intentions and it's nice to people watch.
Live in the newsroom, Savannah Key, Eagle Eye TV.
Students will also vote on a change to postseason ticket distribution and a referendum on the ballots. Election Day is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. next Tuesday. To see full platform videos for each of the candidates, head to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and click on the Elections tab.
Former Auburn student, Opelika native, and former Miss America, Mallory Hagan, has announced that she is considering a run for Congress as a Democrat. Hagan stepped into the political spotlight after an email scandal in the Miss America organization that featured derogatory remarks about Hagan. She said it was a transformational experience and inspired her to run for Congress.
Hagan would attempt to upset 16-year Republican incumbent Rep. Mike Rogers in the Alabama Congressional District 3, the district that Lee County is in. She is raising money for her potential campaign on a CrowdPack fundraising site. So far, over $11,000 have been raised. Hagan is currently a news anchor at WLTZ in Columbus. The deadline for Democrats to qualify for the ballot is February 9th.
Tuesday night, President Trump gave his first State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress. Some of the points the president made, including reducing the cost of prescription drugs and tightening border security. Auburn students gave their thoughts on the president's speech and the job performance during our live show following the address.
Has boasted an American First agenda. And putting America first in any decision that he's making. Do you think that's something that he's done, that there's evidence of him doing during his first year in office?
I believe so, and you see his commitment. He's trying to push for the immigration reform. One of my favorite quotes from the speech is, Americans are dreamers too. And we see our country helps needy all across the world, and yet the concern that he has and he should have is putting America first and American citizens first, and his commitment to renegotiating these trade deals such as NAFTA, and of course his withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord. I think he's taking steps to put the American people first.
Calvin, America first, or is that what we're doing right now, or do you see it differently?
I think Trump's perspective of America first is a particular group of people. Over the past year, I haven't seen all Americans put first. When you have a president that said disparaging comments about people like John Lewis, who are icons even to me as an African American on campus, it's hard for me to honestly say him putting America first. I think he has a certain idea of certain Americans. You know, you're talking about a president that said people on both sides during, protests with Klansmen. People on both sides are they're good people on both sides. So I don't see an America first agenda for all Americans. I see America first agenda for just a particular group.
Members of Congress boycotted the event. Many female members of Congress wore black in solidarity with the Me Too movement.
An Auburn man is dead this evening after an accident while repairing his car. The accident happened on the 700 block of Davis Court. Officers found James Lassiter under his car yesterday afternoon. They performed CPR, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Lassiter was 33 years old. Opelika police are looking for 19-year-old Malcolm Anthony Robinson. Robinson has a felony warrant for burglary. He is a black male, 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighs approximately 160 pounds. He is known to frequent the Pleasant Circle area. Anyone with information about Robinson's whereabouts is urged to call the Opelika Police Department's Investigative Services Division at 334-705-5220.
Coming up, basketball look to extend their win streak to 4 games.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Basketball looked to get their 20th win of the season Tuesday, and some Tigers got one final chance to shine. I'm Nicole Davis with sports. Before this week's games tipped off, Auburn sophomore guard Mustafa Heron was named SEC Co-Player of the Week Monday. This is the second time he earned the title this season. Heron was given the honor after averaging a double-double for the week. He averaged 17.5 points and 10 rebounds in the Tigers' wins over Mizzou and LSU. After another victorious week, Auburn hit the road last night, traveling to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Rebels. Auburn hasn't won in Oxford since 2008, but Bryce Brown was looking to help his team get their 20th win of the season. Brown came into the game averaging just over 16 points per game. The Tigers start out slow, but halfway through the first round, Brown pulls up off the dribble to shoot one in from the free throw line to put the Tigers within 4. Brown really heated up the second half. Mustafa Heron misses the corner 3. Deshaun Murray with the offensive board kicks it out to Brown, who nails the open 3. Brown, getting fancy with the dribble, dives to the loop and floats one in to put the Tigers up 11. Tigers on the fast break. Jared Harper finds the open Brown, who drives the baseline and lays it in with the right hand. Brown would score 19 of his 23 points in the second to give Auburn the 79-70 win. Several graduated Tigers took part in the annual Reese's Senior Bowl Saturday. Safety Trey Matthews, linebacker Trey Williams, kicker Daniel Carlson, long snapper Ike Powell, and offensive lineman Austin Golson all took part in the week's practice ahead of the game. Matthews left the Senior Bowl Thursday night and did not play in the game Saturday. This game itself isn't a big deal when compared to the practices during the week. However, it was the Tigers and the South team getting the W 45-16. When asked about how he felt how the game himself went, Williams was grateful for the opportunity.
Man, it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. You know, coming out here with a lot of great athletes and experiencing, NFL coaching staff and just, hanging out with those guys, it just really gives me that NFL feel. And that's something I've been dreaming about. So, like I said, it was a great week.
To stay up to date on all your Auburn sports, go to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, or follow us on Twitter at EETV_sports. After the break, why Bruce Pearl punched one of his own players. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Even the best of us forget sometimes. But buckling up is one thing you always want to remember.
Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
You must be living under a rock if you haven't noticed or been affected by the extensive work being done on campus.
Construction is a very common sight on campus. It affects how students and faculty enter their class buildings, park their cars, and even walk to their classes. Several buildings are under construction, including engineering buildings, Jordan-Hare Stadium, and Louder. Many students are annoyed with the seemingly never-ending construction.
I think that the construction on campus can get a little bit annoying just because during class I can hear it a lot. But I think at the end of the day it's going to be nice.
Kaldrovic says Auburn has been under construction since she's been here, yet she believes there are still several buildings that could use improvement around campus.
I definitely think the Haley Center needs to be redone. I also think that I'm in the College of Business and there's not a lot of food options around here, so I do think that the new building should have maybe some food options so that I don't have to run to Foy and back between classes.
In Auburn, Ellie Falconer, Eagle Eye TV.
There are currently 14 major campus construction projects listed by Auburn Facilities Management.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting after deputies were called to a Smith Station home where a mother shot her 23-year-old son. Robert Woods Jr. was unresponsive when police found him with 2 bullet wounds. Woods allegedly forced his way into his mother Francine Woods' home shortly before noon on Tuesday. She called authorities reporting that her son had threatened her. Police have been called to the same home at least 6 prior times for domestic disturbance as far back as 2011. No charges have been filed against Woods for her involvement in the death. She has been cooperating with officials.
Saturday morning's chilly weather didn't stop members of the Auburn community from jumping in Sanford Pool.
With temperatures in the mid-50s and rain falling steadily, the City of Auburn's 6th annual Polar Plunge was a chilly one. But that didn't stop participants from jumping in, all in the name of charity.
It started in my backyard pool, and after that first year we moved it to the Sanford Pool. All the money goes to the Lee County Special Olympics, so it stays local and it stays with special athletes in our area that really need it. So.
A highlight of the event was Aubie dressed in a penguin suit for his very first polar plunge.
It was great. We had some great people turn out and help us raise money.
In Auburn, Grace Reynolds, Eagle Eye TV.
The Polar Plunge was one of the coldest Auburn has hosted.
Do you have a green thumb but nowhere to use it? The Auburn University Community Garden is offering plots to rent for members of the Auburn community to take care of and grow their own plants. This includes students and faculty of the university. Gardeners of all experience levels are welcome. Contracts will be accepted throughout the month of February, with the planting season beginning on March 1st. For more information, please contact community.garden@auburn.edu.
Eagle Eye TV's newest show, Plain Talk, sat down with the provost, Bill Hargrave, to discuss his plans for his new role.
I know Auburn. I've gotten to know Auburn very well. I love Auburn. I've seen what it's been through in the last 7.5 years.
And be sure to tune in next week on Plain Talk when Eagle Eye heads to Montgomery to interview Alabama Governor Kay Ivey.
This week's Pet of the Week is Sully. Sully was initially adopted from Lee County Humane Society as a baby, but is now back as an adult. He loves belly rubs, good chin scratching, and snuggles. He does have a chronic digestive disorder. That means he'll need to be on medicine and prescription food forever.
Sully is looking for a special human to adopt him. He is available for adoption at the Lee County Humane Society.
After the break, see Bruce Pearl's accidental punch.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
For all the papas out there, let's stop what we're doing and take a moment. A moment to be with our kids. They can be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments, kooky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count because every time dads take a moment to be with their kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's all take a moment to make a moment today.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Sorry, I almost killed you. You've all been misunderstood. You're not a fighter.
I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
The right support, everyone can reach their full potential because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
Auburn basketball is on a hot streak, and head coach Bruce Pearl couldn't take the heat. Pearl got so energized during a recent home game that he accidentally punched one of his own players in the face.
Fortunately, point guard Jared Harper wasn't injured by the punch and played the rest of the game to help the Tigers beat LSU 95-70. Honestly, I think Coach Pearl was really lucky in this situation.
I know, he could have hurt Jared. I'm just glad none of our producers have come in and punched us in the middle of a show.
Yeah, that would have not been very pleasant.
That's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to keep up to date with all the latest news by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Eagle Eye TV and online at eagleeyeauburn.com. I'm Brooks Childress.
And I'm Ellie Falconer. Thanks for joining us in War Eagle.